I myself have been a victim here in Oklahoma of police brutality because I said it was something simple. It happened 3 years ago. I let my sons go to the mall. They had money. They weren't up there just being homeless. They were up there. They had money to spend, and the police didn't like the fact that they were gathered together, and in the food court, and decided to arrest my son, who was 14 at the time. So I get the call to go down there, and my son told me after the fact of the things that they were saying to them. I mean, my son at the time was 14 years old, and these police officers are calling him the N-word, telling them he's ugly, all kinds of stuff. But when I get there, there's two officers, trying to play that good cop, bad cop situation. We're super aggressive and screaming in my face and all kinds of stuff. And so after I told them I knew my rights and I knew the law and that this is a child, I'm here. Because they literally gave me 8 minutes to come pick up my son. And so I was like, I know the law, whoop-de-whoop. Anyways, the guy tells me, the officer, now this is a police officer, who says, oh, so you want to be uppity? Well, we're about to embarrass you. And so they wanted to walk me out in handcuffs as if I had done something wrong. So, and me, D, I'm not going out like that.
Yeah. I ain't going out like Willie Lump.
I'm not going out like Willie Lump. So I said, oh, well, you picked the wrong one because I don't get embarrassed. So I turned on my camera and I said, oh, you want to embarrass me? I was like, officer, and I zoomed in on his on his badge, and I was like, officer, blah, 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 you want to embarrass me? Is that what you said? So you want to make it seem like I'm stealing? Is that what you're trying to do? So I'm loud. At this point, I'm walking through the mall loud to draw attention. So I'm like, oh, so you're trying to make it seem like all black people steal whenever you guys are beating up on a 14-year-old boy in the back. Is that what you're doing? So we're walking out. And then I get to the front, and he says that he said I was, banned from the property. So I said, that's fine. I'm not coming back to this anyway, but my son better be okay, and he better be where he's supposed to be, or else it's going to be trouble. So I'm recording this whole time. So then he says, that's it. You're going to jail. Runs after me, right? So I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to jail because I'm in the parking lot at this point. And so my older son comes out, and he's trying to run up, and I was like, no, don't, because I didn't want them to do anything to my son. So I give him my camera, and I just told him to keep recording. They pepper sprayed me, literally this close to my face.
What?
Pepper sprayed me right in the face. The officer then starts punching me.
What?
Punching on me, talking about I was resisting arrest. So
after they pepper sprayed you?
After they pepper sprayed.
Oh my gosh.
So then they try to arrest my older son, and they kept asking him his name, and I was like, I didn't say his name. I said, don't tell them your name. You are not under arrest. Don't tell them your name. So by this time, my friend who was there with my son in the first place came out, and she's trying to get everything situated. So because my older son had the phone and recorded it all, they arrested him as well. So all three of us are arrested. My friend has the phone, but she has the keys, but she doesn't have my phone. So let me tell you what they did. They arrest us all. I go to jail. My sons go to CIC. My mom got my sons out, and then I had to get bonded out or whatever. In the meantime, though, this is why I keep a lock on my phone now, because I didn't at the time.
Oh, no.
They got the phone from my son after they arrested him and deleted that video. When I got my phone back, all my pictures from my gallery and stuff was gone. And they tried, my son's phone was locked because they thought he got it on his, but at the time he had an iPhone. I had an Android at the time, but his phone was locked, so they couldn't get in it. But it had, how you try so many times with the wrong password, it'll lock it. His phone was locked to where we had to actually go in and reset it to where we can get back in it.
Dang.
So it's real. Police brutality is real. They don't discriminate women, children, whatever. Like, I found out the stuff that they said to my son. Again, he's 14 years old. And they're telling him, I bet you don't get no cooch and all this. I mean, like, really derogatory stuff to my son. And he's a 14-year-old boy, at the time. And the charges that they trumped up was so ridiculous. Like, I ended up having to pay like $1,500 in fines because it was what they say, resisting arrest. They gave me an assault on a police officer charge.
That's so terrible.
Yeah, all of that for nothing. For two kids shopping at the mall.
Was there like an end result to it, or is it?
No, and this is why a lot of people get upset about the fact that they say, oh, well, there's good officers out there. Now, there were, because when I said at the time, because I was still a journalist, I was like, oh yeah, I was like, y'all hope y'all know y'all got the right one. I'm a journalist, da 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 da, and this is going to be on the news. So, you know, the officer, they sent the supervisor there, and I reported it. Like, it wasn't I didn't know. I was like, yeah, he's those two right there. You know, I'm pointing out who they are and everything. So I get the police report, and the names on it is wrong. It's not the actual officers. The names were made up. That's number one. Number two, so of course I couldn't trace the situation back. Number two was there was officers that, you know, came to me later and was like, I was there and I saw it, but you didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see, I'm a woman getting punched on. If this was me and you in a domestic dispute, you would have been all over the ground. You know, I mean, seriously, like, but it's two officers, you know, punching on a woman and
pepper spraying.
After I'm already pepper sprayed, like, and they didn't just, like, they hit me in the face with like that lethal crowd kind. Like, this wasn't no little that you would carry in your purse. This was one of those crowd joints. Like, I was hurt for a cool minute. You know, and it just was mind blowing that people saw this, and the only ones that really spoke up, to be honest with you, were the bystanders. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people that was there, they was like, that's messed up, get off her, you know, and everything else. So I do believe that there's good police officers out there. What I suggest is that they start speaking up more, because you can't see stuff like that and just be like, oh, it's protocol. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Martin Luther King, he said it best. It's not about police brutality, but he said about racism. You know, to see racism and not say or do anything is to be a racist.
Exactly.
So for those bad cops you're talking about that won't speak out, you know, that's bad.